Rock music. Is it dead? Sorta? Kinda? Maybe? Not really? Let's talk about it.
I want to rock.
Hi, my name is Layton, and I'm a musician who really likes rock music. As someone who looks like the lost member of the Runaways, Dollar Tree, Sandy West, I often get asked, do I think rock music is dead? Normally I have a response like,
single-handedly keeping it alive.
But obviously something is going on with rock if you're asking me that question, and I want to talk about it. Now, let's talk about the music we have today. Like, let's be real, Taylor Swift is not selling out stadiums, shredding a guitar. Although, you know, that'd be kind of rad. And I'm not dissing Dr. Swift. Like, I have tickets for Eras Tour. I will be going. I have the bracelet right here. Let me just preface this video by saying it's gonna make me sound like I hate pop music. I don't. I'm just saying that it's not rock.
I'm talking about bands that rock.
It is, just like everything else in society, that we've started to rely more on technology for our music. Which is fine and great, and I don't think that's a bad thing, but it kind of takes away a very core element of what rock is. Something that makes rock so great is that it is very human. Like, you can hear mess ups, you can hear guitar strings bending, you can even hear drummers mess up drum fills. Like, you can tell that a human created this, and I think that's appealing for a lot of people. The human element is what, for me at least, makes rock rock. When you have computers that are making everything spotless, it kind of takes away that human element. But I don't think all hope is lost for rock music, because the 70s and the 80s are back, baby.
Disco, disco, disco dance machine.
Also 90s, that Nirvana shirt? Everyone and their mom has that Nirvana shirt. Listen, I'm not the person to be like, oh, name 5 bands and gatekeep music, because I think that's silly. But that Nirvana shirt is up there with the blurry face shirt that took over my middle school. Like, it's...
Even if the clique were to pick and the people were to vote.
Point is, retro is back in style in more ways than one. The bell bottoms, the mom jeans, pop culture popping out shows like Daisy Jones and the Six and Stranger Things. We right now love old stuff. The big thing that's coming back in this style is vinyl. For the first time since the 80s, vinyl is actually outselling CDs, thanks to Taylor Swift. The younger generation now seems to be obsessed with vinyl, and that is a very good thing for rock, because the people that are listening to vinyl are discovering these old bands and they're falling in love with rock music.
What is that?
I mean, look at me. Stevie Nicks, baby. Another thing I've noticed is that, especially in music, we kind of go from one thing, get bored of that thing, go back to what we have been doing, get bored of that thing, go back to what we have been doing. So early 2000s, when I was freshly hatched, we were really into that electronic sound, which was right before the 90s, which was very grunge and very rock, which was right before the 80s, which was still very rock, but we do kind of like that synth during the 80s, right before the 70s, which was very rock and roll. Society tends to like music with real instruments, to electronic, to back to rock again, to back to like...
One eternity later.
So what I'm saying is, I think rock music is in a dead period, but it's soon gonna skyrocket. And it's interesting to see these bands start to take root. Like, I've seen so many of these 80s, 70s style bands like online trying to get their start. And I know this is controversial warning, but the only band that's actively saving rock as of now, newer artist wise, is Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah! This is just it!
Say what you want about Greta Van Fleet, okay? Whatever. But they are the ones that are gaining the new generation's attention, and they're making them love rock music. Think about it. If you listen to Greta Van Fleet, you're gonna want to listen to more stuff that sounds like Greta Van Fleet, and what is that? Classic rock. As our world kind of falls in love with the 70s and the 80s again, I reckon that we'll listen to the music too. That will inspire a whole new generation of people who want to play rock music. I say this from experience. I was playing drums before COVID hit, but I really honed in on my skills during quarantine. And I was not the only one. There were so many people that were learning instruments during that time, and I really hope, it's been a while, I really hope they stayed with it, because now they're at the time where they're gonna start actually playing music, and I hope it's rock music. But no worries. As I said, I'm actively keeping rock music alive. You guys are welcome.
I know everyone says it sounds silly, I love rock and roll, but that is what I feel. I love rock and roll.